Hello everyone. Today we are here for this amazing interview session with CA Ashish Thakkar, who runs Ashish Tutorials at Mumbai. And let's have some voting that how many of us want to want me to speak English. Can you put in chat? Subir, can we open the chat? So English. Okay, we have one vote. Hindi or mix? Okay, got it. So we have got the quite good response over here. So we will be doing it a sort of 75% English and 25% Hindi. So basically now we are here. I'll directly introduce Mr. Ashish Thakkar, who is a CA professional. He runs his coaching as in the brand name of Ashish Tutorials in Mumbai. And let's go to him directly because this is direct session with Mr. Ashish. Let's go directly with him. Hi Ashish sir, how are you?
Was fine. Hi, good morning everyone. Hope all are well.
Yes,
all good, sir. All good.
I hope everything is fine at your end. Just
fine.
A few minutes back we were discussing, and it was a heavy rain in Mumbai.
Yeah, right? It's raining heavily. It's raining heavily here. I'm lucky to reach my office before time.
We are also very happy about it, right? So, sir, we will just quick shoot few questions. So, how did how much time did it take for you to become a CA professional or crack CA exams and sort of, and it back then which year it was exactly?
To be honest, it took me a lot of time to finish my CA. I cleared all my levels in the first attempt only, but final took me a lot of time. Okay. Now, if there is time, I can give a little bit brief history about myself, if time permits.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, see, when I was in my college, but when I entered FIGs in college, so from that time only, I had a liking for accounts. I used to enjoy accounts. So I stay in a big society where there are around 300 flats. So when I was studying with me, there were around 20 to 25 students in my society only who had taken commerce. So right from that day only, everybody used to learn accounts. Are Ashish accounts समझ में नहीं है हमको समझा. So we used to sit on our building terrace in our lobbies or someone's house is there, and I used to teach accounts to everybody. So from that time I started having a liking for accounts. And then when I entered the degree college, when I used to see my college professors, there were 2-3 of them who were practicing CS and teaching in the college. So what they used to do, in the morning they used to teach, and in the afternoon they used to practice. So I had that mindset that I'll follow them. I'll also do like that. Morning I'll teach. Teaching had become my passion. I was very sure that I'm going for teaching accounts at any cost. But that time it was I'll teach in morning, and then post afternoon I'll do my practice. Then when I registered for my CA, I had to do my 3-4 years internship. And then what happened, that final took me a lot of time. And to be honest, I don't come from a strong financial background. So I had to think about all my financial aspects also. So final took me a bit of time. And then after failing for a few attempts, I told that I cannot wait much. I will not drop my CA, but I have to do something for my livelihood. So then, because I didn't have the degree that time, I couldn't practice. So my part-time teaching intention of college and part-time practicing, due to initial failing of CA exam, got converted into full-time coaching. And that today for me is a blessing in disguise. I pray to God that thank you for failing me in CA exams. Otherwise, I would have not come full-time in my coaching career. So I thank God for failing me. Because of that, I'm into full-time profession. And had I passed my exam, maybe I would have not been sitting in front of you today because I would have been a college professor. So that was the thing. So it took me a lot of attempts, but everything went in my favor. But I was very sure that कुछ नहीं तो मेरी शादी के बाद मेरी बेटी है, मेरी बेटी के साथ में CA. I'll tell you honestly, when my daughter was 3-year-old, I became a CA. My one final group was pending. It gave me a lot of headache, but any cost, I told that I will finish and I'll get my degree and I'll show to people. For CA, you need a lot of patience. I told myself that CA Institute is testing my patience. No problem. I will test their patience. Let me see how many times they fail me. So at the end, CA Institute had to surrender and had to give me the degree, to be honest. So
That
this
is
is the thing.
so nice. That is so nice. And that's what, that is all about entrepreneurship. You fail
Yeah,
so many times, and the life is not going to wait for you,
agreed. Right.
get your marriage, being your kids'
Yes, yes,
education, or
yes.
anything like that, is not going to
Hmm.
wait for it. But entrepreneurship is actually going to, drive you crazy to the next level, right?
I was very clear when I was studying itself. I used to get good offers to go work, but I was very clear that okay, as far as your training is concerned, for training it's okay. I'm working, but in long term, दो पैसा कम मिलेगा चलेगा, but I'm not going to work under anybody. You call it as an entrepreneur skill or you call it an ego for not working under somebody, whatever you call it. So I was very clear that whatever I do, I will do something of my own. So that I was very clear right from day one. Job was only for 4-5 years getting experience, but after that, it was on the card that I have to have my own setup. That was clear.
Wow, super amazing. So that's a really inspiring story, Matlab. It's
To be honest, I'm very clear that once I do na, एक thought process आ गया that ये करना है, so I see to it that it is done.
so
Unless
that,
and until
that is
luck
that is
doesn't.
all about, this, that knack in the head. I have to
Correct.
achieve this. I have to achieve this, and this is very important for any entrepreneur. Starting an education business itself is an edupreneurship, which is again not easy. It's not easy. We have seen so thicks and thins in the life that it's really not easy for anyone to, just start that up, right? And
Yeah.
the most important part, until unless you're not married, it's like you are the sole responsibility. But after marriage, the entire family responsibility comes over to you, and that is where, the decision making becomes really tough, right? I'm
Correct.
really
And
happy.
for me, touch wood, my wife ka support was also there because to study after marriage is not a easy job, So I had a very good support of my family members also. Bola, don't worry, they used to keep on motivating me. Initially, I used to get depressed after failing for one, first or second time. But then that made me more mentally strong, And I was not that mentally strong when I used to study, but failing in CA exams made me more stronger. And today, if any of my students who are going for CA or say even of my relatives whose kids are studying or whose neighbors are studying CA, they fail, like they get depressed. Everybody calls me. I call that student in front of me. I give my example. I say, don't give up. I give my example and I motivate and I see to it that they are on the right track.
That,
So that's more happiness comes when you are able to guide people on the right track and motivate them. That gives a further icing on the cake to that satisfaction level.
and again, sir, this, entrepreneurship cannot be achieved without leadership. So leadership will be automatically incubated in yourself, in you, once you are doing an entrepreneurship. That's a, hardcore funda, what we understand. So, going on to the next question, I'll shoot down the next question. What exactly do you do every day, right, to ensure that you deliver the best to your students? I'm talking about the.
Uh, Yeah. See, I'll tell you honestly. First, again, coming back to the earlier point, because that will be the foundation for this answer. I am in this field because of my passion, and more importantly, it gives me job satisfaction. Keep money aside. I am not a money-minded person. I always believe in job satisfaction because when you are doing something what you like, that will give you a better quality and that will have a good impact on students also. So that mindset was already there, that job satisfaction. So I enjoy what I do. So, that makes my job much easier. And touchwood, the background from which I'm coming, all my family members, we are very cool minded. So that patience ka quality is inbuilt in my blood only. And plus, after entering the teaching profession, that quality kept on developing. So that patience level kept on increasing. So when I'm teaching throughout the day, I have that stamina that I can teach for 10-14 hours non-stop also if required. I can do it without any breaks. So, all these factors, they help me to make my day much easier and all that.
So I think, three good takeaways from what you just mentioned. First is mindset. If you have the right mindset, you will.
100% agree, sir.
Second is patience, because you are in a profession when success rate
So
is
your
very
voice,
less than. Hello, sir, can you hear
yeah,
me?
voice is little bit. Yeah, your voice
So
is breaking a bit. Yeah,
second thing is patience. So because you are in a business where, let's say 100 students are studying from you, 90% of them might not clear it, right, in the first attempt. So you need to have patience, right?
now patience is the inbuilt quality, sir. Without patience, you and I'm dealing into college crowd. So when you're sitting with college crowd, that patience level you have to have. Otherwise, you can't teach only.
Right. And third is passionate, being passionate about what you are doing.
Hundred percent,
Will
hundred
go
percent, hundred.
crazy like that.
Yeah,
Amazing. That's really helpful for, I think these three qualities, are very helpful for someone who is starting up their own education academy or something.
correct, correct.
This is very important, right? Third thing is, sir, how you exactly laid the foundation of Ashish tutorials. When exactly, that small
Yeah.
point.
See,
Yes,
as
I
I told you that,
structure it as an institute, not just
yeah.
a trainer sort of.
Okay, okay. So see, as I told you that initially I failed to 2, 3 times. So then where I studied, there's a class called as Shah Educational Academy. They are the king of Bandra as of today also. So I have studied there. So I have a very good rapport with that sir even today. So I went to him, sir, if I'm not able to clear. So now I'm thinking to enter this teaching profession. So you guide me, how should I go ahead? So immediately, he told me, okay, my classes, my SYGC exams were conducted today only. He gave me a bunch of 100 papers. Yeah, take these papers, correct these papers, start correcting, your first step comes. So that was my basic first step where I got a break. Then I was under trading there. I used to get 1 or 2 private tuitions. I used to go at students place, student के घर पे जाके पढ़ाता था. One student से 2 student मिले. Then building में एक दो जन को पता चला, बोला तू कर रहे, okay, you also teach us. So like that it started. And first I was staying in a very small house. When I entered teaching, I was staying in a around 250 square feet ka house. So then, as I told you that I had to keep in mind everything. So then I just kept on thinking, अरे यार चलो, I have a good grip on accounts. अभी मेरे को students भी मिलना चालू हो गए. Let's take some big or medium type step and do something big. So in my society only, there was one distress sale of a big flat. So I took that opportunity. I took a financial risk at the age of 23, and I took a big house. The main intention of taking that big house was in one small room, which was my bedroom, where I can teach the student. And I and my sister were unmarried, तो हम लोग ने 2 beds बनाए थे, single beds. So in that room, what we used to do, we used to keep chairs. I got 3, 4 students. So let's start with 4 students. So now let's start. And it was in the year 2003, where I gave the tag name Ashish Tutorials. I started in 2001, but just for correcting papers and ek do saal just private tuitions. But then when I got the confidence, I made it. Then what we used to do is, on the daytime, the beds we used to keep it on the top. Students के chair लग जाते थे. Day is over. Chairs को एक के ऊपर एक रख दिया. Again bed down. So that was the routine. And from that April 2003, I gave the tag name Ashish Tutorials, and I started in my small 100 square feet ka bedroom. After that, 2003, 4, 5, in 2006, students बढ़ने लगे. First, I kept 4 chairs. Then I made it to 8 chairs. Then in the third year, I made it to 12 chairs. And then I started getting a group of 20 students. मतलब अभी नहीं होएगा. Then in my building on the ground floor, I took a little bit bigger space. 100 square feet का teaching area में से I came to a teaching area of 180 square feet. There I taught for 7 years. After that, students और बढ़े. So right now I'm in the same society, but right now I'm in a 400 square feet का office, where around 220 square feet का classroom है, plus my off cabin and everything. So this is the way, slowly, as and when I kept on getting the numbers, I kept on taking bigger places. So currently, as I told you that I started in 2003. So now I have entered the 19th year of my profession as a teacher.
That's really huge. Means it's really huge. 100 square feet से 400 square feet. और इसका अगर 20 साल में और अराउंड एक्सपेंसेस भी जोड़े तो आई थिंक इट्स वेरी बिग इन मुंबई, आई वुड से
Yes, sir. And Mumbai, mein, sir, I'm operating in Bandra West, which is more of a celebrity type. Of course, my area is a little bit not exactly celebrate. I'm operating Bandra West in Mumbai. And that's the thing. Yes, sir. But the thing is,
yeah, please go ahead, sir.
The thing is, the area where I'm operating now, I'll tell you honestly, I don't have big number of students. The reason is because my area, Bandra, next area, Khar, Santa Cruz. We have major students coming from Bandra, Khar, Santa. Now, that is more of a cream crowd. So these type of people, they don't prefer big batches. Normally, bade classes mein. See, because you told Hindi, I'm mixing a little bit of Hindi. If it's okay, yeah. So people, in low lying area, low profile area, people want 100 ka batch, 150 ka batch. हमारे यहाँ पे cream crowd है ना, they don't want more than 15-20 students. अगर पता चला as of today also, अरे 20 student, अरे it's too much. So our area is such now that we have to restrict the batch size to 10 to 15 if we want to operate. हमारे इधर ऐसा है कि सर आप फीस कितना भी ले लो चलेगा, but you give quality and you restrict your batch size. Personal touch, private attention milna chahiye, so people will pay. But we have the limitation in the area that we cannot have more number of students. But from this year, that trend is going to change because of COVID and online coming into picture. I'll come to that also because now that is going to be a turning point maybe for people operating in our area. Because online aa gaya, तो size का restriction निकल जाएगा आगे जाके.
Right. That's really amazing to hear from you, sir. यहाँ से भी मुझे ना 2-3 takeaways, I am able to figure out 2 to 3 key takeaways. First is there is a concept of KISS जो आपने 2001 और 2003 में किया, 2001 and 2003 you implemented. So KISS we call it KISS. KISS is keep it simple, stupid.
Correct, sir.
1, 2 or 4 doesn't matter. Keep it very simple and stupid.
Simple, sir. You have to stick to your basics. I'm a big sports fan. I follow cricket. मैं cricket में देखता हूँ captains keep on saying nothing. When a commentator asks what is your strategy, nothing. Just stick to your basics. So I apply that also. So simple. You cannot change the basics. You have to make it simple. You can't do anything extraordinary and play with students' career. If you want to do something extraordinary, do, but without moving out of the basic. That basic core has to be there. Amazing. Irrespective of whatever subject you're teaching.
That is really wonderful. And second thing is what I got from our conversation, I was able to figure it out. Personalized attention. When you were saying, batches of 15 to 20 students. So I believe, that is very important when we are trying to crack an exam like CA. You need to give an individualized focus and attention to every student, because that's how the student is actually going to learn from their own mistakes, because they need time to understand and go over it again and again. I think that's a really wonderful insight, sir. So sir, we are now done with our section 1. Our section 2 is going to start now, which is we have kept the title is 1 year back in 2020, now in 2021, and the future. How do you see it, right? So we have very basic questions over here.
I would love to answer that without questions also, if you.
I have, we have even gathered some questions based on discussion in past 6 months. But yes. Yeah. So when pandemic exactly broke out, what was your first reaction to move online? I'm talking about in March, April 2020.
Exactly. See, in March, Bombay May, it was announced on 22nd March, where my third year college students ka exam were yet to be conducted. So that to be managed. But then the pandemic kept on continuing. April, May. Now around 10 to 15th May is the normal date where I start with my SYJC and final year graduation. Rest all to we start in June, July. So May students started, sir, when I was starting, I told, okay, let me see, let 10 days go, let the announcement come. So aisa karke I kept on delaying for 1 month. And I'll be very honest with you all. I was totally against online last April. I was totally against online. pressure kept on coming from parents, and I see that other classes who are a little bit narrow-minded, they kept on losing students. So now I thought that अपना passion है, we cannot afford, कुछ भी हो करना पड़ेगा. So then I made up my mind, चलो अभी option नहीं है, you have to teach online, otherwise students will go. So that's where I had to get into online. And believe me, last year I was on YouTube only. Starting में हफ्ता 10 days I was not okay ठीक है, मतलब by compulsion कर रहा हूँ. But then one good thing what I did was I never went into live. You know, everybody started online, मतलब students का mentality, teachers का mentality, zoom. People, you know, as if there is nothing other than zoom. But I told live मुझे पता नहीं मजा नहीं आएगा, because when you're discussing teaching, किसी का connectivity issue हो गया तो you know again keep on explaining and discussion होता है. So I was suggested by one or two seniors of mine that you go online but you do recording. So I used to do recording and give it on YouTube. Starting में Google Drive में देता था, but after that I created my own channel on YouTube, and then I started uploading my videos on YouTube, and then this is the way I started. So starting में around 10, 15, 20 days I was, you know, as it चल ठीक है अभी करना पड़ रहा है. But then I don't know, suddenly what happened, I started taking feedback of my students. Okay, are you okay with it? Do you need? No, sir, fantastic, sir. You are doing recording. It's very good. मेरे फ्रेंड्स उधर जा रहे हैं, वो लाइव है, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, इंटरनेट इशू हो रहा है, उस टीचर का इंटरनेट बराबर नहीं है, ये हो रहा है, एंड वी हैव एनी डाउट्स. एक बार सेशन हो गया, दे आर नॉट रिकॉर्डिंग, तो अगर लेक्चर हो गया तो वापस रिवाइज करना है तो देयर इज नो अदर ऑप्शन. एंड हियर आई, फिर मैंने सोचा यार ये तो बहुत, स्टूडेंट्स स्टार्टेड गिविंग अ वेरी गुड फीडबैक. Sir, please continue with this, and we request you to keep on recording only, because we can see as many times you want. We can rewind, forward, unlimited. And so वो मैं सोच लिया अभी ऑनलाइन ही है, and I'm not going to go live. ठीक है, casually I go live for some group discussion or query solving, that's okay, but my regular lectures में बोला अभी recording ही करना है. So जैसे जैसे that kept on increasing, then I started thinking myself, अरे 3 months हो गया, 4 months हो गया, मतलब what is happening. मैं क्लास में अकेला रिकॉर्ड कर रहा हूँ, आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग, मेरा मोबाइल रख के मैं खुद रिकॉर्ड कर रहा हूँ, कोई स्टूडेंट्स नहीं है. देन आई केप्ट ऑन एनालाइजिंग ईच एंड एवरी प्लस पॉइंट ऑफ ऑनलाइन. मतलब आई कैन रिकॉर्ड एट माई टाइम. अभी सपोज मॉर्निंग का 10 बजे का क्लास है, स्टूडेंट्स विल कम एट 10, आई हैव टू प्रेजेंट एट 10. यहाँ पे सुबह 10 बजे का मेरा क्लास होता है नॉर्मली. I can record at morning 10, right? I can record रात को 2 बजे, I can record रात को 10 बजे, I can record at my time. मैंने अपलोड किया. Students can view whenever they want. They can view as many times, of course, subject to the restricted views. They can rewind forward. So I thought this is a very good point for the future. तो स्टूडेंट्स लोग के लिए भी अच्छा है. They can save traveling cost, मतलब for the future. पैंडेमिक में तो आने नहीं. If I think 5 years down the line, कितना advantages है. Students don't have to come here physically. They will save time on traveling. They will save cost on traveling. Other thing what I decided after enjoying this, well, let me do one thing. Now what I have done, few courses I have decided I'll go online pure, and few I'll go hybrid. So those who want, come to the class. Of course, it is after the pandemic getting over. Those who want, study at home. And the fee structure what I have kept is, those who are coming at class and those who are seeing online, there's a difference of 1/3 amount. Suppose my fees is 10,000 for offline. If you are studying online, your fees will be 6,000. So 40% saving. So ये सब factors दिमाग में डाल के ना, I said now this is looking at the future. अभी चलो online जाते. So that's the reason how I started entering, and now honestly I'm enjoying online, to be honest.
I think आपने past तो cover किया ही, now भी cover किया और future भी cover कर दिया इसमें.
अभी yeah, correct.
Really amazing, मजा आ गया. Then coming that's a little serious question now. Nobody expected pandemic. So how this pandemic actually affected your business? I would say it's not about just in terms of financial, but again how difficult was it for you to understand that this is something which is now going to change.
Yeah. See, क्या होता है? First of all, financially students का even right now we are struggling. The reason is what is happening now, especially in our Mumbai University courses, the degree colleges. All the exams since last March are happening MCQ format mein online. All the students are so smart. They are very, this generation is very smart. They have made all the PDFs. They have to answer at home. There is no video control. And even if there's a control, they know how to see and answer. So we are facing a very bad time last year. And this year is also going to be worst for our industry. We don't have degree college admission because a student is thinking, a parent is thinking, my kid is getting full marks without studying, without putting any efforts. So why do I make my kid enroll for any coaching classes where without efforts I'm getting full marks? So that has affected us last year. And last year ka one pending exam, and the current academic year which is completed, uska 2 exams, 3 exams ka experiences is having an adverse effect on the current batch who is now getting into the college, that we will wait and watch. Only when the colleges start and it is announced that the exams are offline, then only we will think of taking tuitions. So we are having a very bad time. You cannot make out from my face, but I'm telling you, Maharashtra mein 40% coaching classes in Maharashtra have shut down. 40% coaching classes have shut down. People like me, we are just keeping our patience. Humko pata hai, you have to just keep quiet, be patient, let this time go, and then when the right time comes, we will grab the opportunity and we will attack wherever required. So this is the way we are also struggling and we are facing. But I'm taking it, as I told you that earlier also, that this COVID for me, I'm really taking as a blessing in disguise, because अगर COVID नहीं होता तो शायद ये webinar नहीं होता. Because of the COVID, I am in touch with Edmingle. Otherwise, we would have been offline or future में नहीं दिखता था. So this pandemic adverse effect आया है, but that adverse effect is 100% going to make us convert into a very positive effect. And I'm sure 5-7 years down the line, I'm talking about my stream commerce, because commerce में students का seriousness थोड़ा कम होता है. So 5-7 years down the line, even commerce में, things will change and people will be attracted to online teaching.
That's really, again, grateful insight. I think, it's again, I had been into this industry for around like 7 years now. I would say, meeting educators and lot. And it's, we say that, it's a small world and people will, meet you again and again. So जो आपने कहा ना कि आप एडमिंगल से मिले, जिसको जहाँ पहुँचना होता है वहाँ पहुँच जाता है. I used to say this from a long time now. जिसको जहाँ पहुँचना है, they will reach there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. Then, sir, coming on to our next question again, this is, how has been your experience in teaching online? It has been just a couple of months since you were doing recording from a year back now, right?
Yeah.
But you are seeing the evolution, right? So how is your experience, with all this, whatever has happened till now?
Sir, I am enjoying online. And second thing, another thing, advantage online and experience, whatever lectures I recorded last year, majority of them I'm using it in the current batch, because our SYJC and degree college ka syllabus has changed last year and last year. So now that will remain same for the next 5 years. So, apart from that factor of enjoying teaching, the efforts also have reduced. So when I say that I'm going to record a lecture, syllabus changes once in every 5 years. So today, if I have recorded any lecture, it will, that same lecture can be used for next 3 to 5 years. So I can save a lot of time in that. And that excess time I can utilize for developing some other course or for doing some other constructive work. So that is a very good advantage of that online experience, that, there are many advantages. I'm just listing down few of them, but there are many advantages. So now I'm telling you, I'm in love with online teaching now. And I don't know, ऐसा ही चलता रहा तो who knows that after 2-3 years, I may have to completely stop offline and make it fully online only. And so another big plus point of online, as I told you, that when I'm teaching here, maximum 20 students है sir. So if I'm getting into online, 20 के आगे एक zero लगने दो, luck favors 2 0 लगने दो, I can teach any number of students sitting at my place. So that is one biggest plus point from my point of view. Students' point of view, they can watch at their convenience. They can watch at reduced fees. उनका पैसा भी बचेगा. Pandemic में तो that saying of money is lot, and not even pandemic. आगे जाके भी sir, the cost of education is so high. So there are many factors which online will give, which will be favorable not only from teachers' point of view, but also from students and parents' point of view.
I think that's a really wonderful thing that you just mentioned, because we should only not think about the facilities as being as an educator that we get, right, when we turn online. Maybe maybe because we have to record less lectures, we can easily give access to recordings, repeat classes, or something like that, right? It's really easy with online. But the best part is that learners are going to get benefit out of it. And there are few logistic issues, I would say. People, learners or students might have to travel a lot to reach their favorite trainer, right? That will drastically reduce. Even we can educators now can plan 1 or 2 contact sessions in a week or something like that. Rest of the sessions happening through recorded or live classes. And even these things are going to evolve over the period of time. And we see some institutes are already trying to implement these type of models. And when you mentioned about, sir, going completely online in next 2 or 3 or 5 years, odd years,
maybe,
right? Yeah. So we touchwood, I also met amazing people, amazing educators across India. And one of them, when I met back in 2015, his mission was by 2019 I should be completely online. When I met him in 2015, I'm saying when we did not had that much of technology, a lot of challenges were there. So people like people have been there, and it's really nice that uh, a person like you, who was completely opposite, or let's say not in favor of online education, has slowly shifted towards this online future. And now even considering that in next 2 or 3 years you might be completely online, because you want to give more benefits to your learners. That's really amazing. That's really amazing.
All thanks to COVID. Shouldn't be saying that, but a blessing in disguise. All thanks to COVID.
I completely get that. It's a blessing in disguise. And that 40% of education institutes or educators who lost their business drastically because of this COVID, we have deep sympathies for them as well. But it's just that every 10 years, or let's say every 15 years, there is going to be a significant change in the way that we teach.
And sir,
yes sir, go ahead.
The major reasons for those classes shutting down is their resistance to change. They were not able to adapt. Now, initially when I started, there was just commerce, BCom, but then BAF came. So I knew that these are all in Mumbai. We have, earlier what is there? I'm talking from Mumbai University. For a commerce student, till 2000, there was just normal course. After 12th, if you want to go for commerce, BCom is the only option. Now, as of today, a student pursuing commerce after 12, he has 10 to 11 options, which during my time was only one. So, there's a lot of specialization. So keeping in mind the courses available, we selected. Now, if you see my profile also in your website, that I'm more into BAF, which is BCom Accounting and Finance. Now, BAF Accounting and Finance, those students who have a liking for accounts and finance will go for that course. And that course is designed on the basis of the curriculum of CA Institute. So it is a quality syllabus. Mumbai University ka best course is BAF. So you get quality students also. So immediately I decided, abhi BCom karta hu main side pe. But the main focus is now towards BAF. And there are still many classes who are, they are not able to change themselves into those self-financing courses. Unka wahi hai old traditional mindsets, So the reason for the people shutting down the classes was this only. that resistance to change. Of course, in many cases it will be they cannot afford also because of the feasibility nahi hota hai. But the major reason is resistance to change, nothing else.
I think that's a, that is going to be one of our, upcoming webinar topic, resistance to change. And, it will be,
Exactly.
we'll be having a couple of more that really gives me a great idea. We can, how to, overcome this resistance to change, how to overcome, because even though if pandemic gets over, after this, it's not going to be purely offline. It's going to be hybrid.
Correct. 100% agree. That is the reason I am also getting into hybrid. And as I told you, since you raised this point, once the pandemic, still there are many people who are industry, अरे online कुछ नहीं है, किसी को समझ में नहीं आता, ये तो कोविड है, एक बार कोविड जाने दो, सब ऑनलाइन भूल जाएंगे. This is the reply what we get. So we say okay fine. कभी कभी सर ऐसा होता है ना कि we know that it's always better not to break your heads and discuss with fools. हाँ भाई okay, that is your opinion, ठीक है तो तेरी जगह पे सही है. Not to discuss only. So people have that mindset कि online teaching is only right now because of COVID. एक बार COVID चला गया, 90% online teaching is gone. But they don't know. I have mentioned this in my group, WhatsApp group. We have a 300 professors ka group. I have mentioned that let's change to this. It is my suggestion because till now the competition was only from the local market.
Exactly.
Once online expands, there will be competition from entire city, entire state. So people are not thinking on this, and those who are not thinking on this now, they'll really have a tough time after 5 to 7 years. वो विजन रखना है, उनको लगता है ऑनलाइन कुछ नहीं है, बट अभी तो उनको लोकल एरिया का ही कंपटीशन है, आगे जाके पूरा सिटी का है ना सर. बिकॉज टुडे I can teach, even as suppose I am teaching a course which is in Bangalore, I can even teach a student of Bangalore. So those people are not keeping that vision in mind. So, it's an individual call, but that is the thing, that if you can't change, you are out of the market. Let it be any industry, not only coaching, let it be any industry.
I think that's a really beautiful insight because when we generally speak to anyone, right, we tell them why it is important because after 70% of India's market is rural, or let's say semi-urban, I would say, right? Nobody is going to travel down 50 kilometers every day to learn from you. First of all, if it is not, let's say someone wants to crack who is, let's say, 50 kilometers away from you and they really like you, it's, they just want to have a gist of your materials or classes or something like that, right? So they might be already thinking, if can I get access to your content, can I get some way where I can learn from your material or learn from you, right? But I cannot travel every day, right? So first of all, being as an educator, you are missing that opportunity, right? First is that thing. Second is, if it is not we who is going to teach them, or let's say if you are not, it is not you who is going to teach that student who is going to come down from 50 kilometers away, someone or the other is going to teach. So you are definitely at a loss, first of all.
Correct, 100%.
You are not able to capitalize that possibility of one revenue source, right? And rightly said, because of this online stuff, the competition is going to grow, not just locally, but within the state, within the city, within the state, and within the country as well. Because
Correct,
now
correct.
people are having access to a lot of educators. Kitne sare, we have a lot of marketplaces where everyone is trying to sell the courses for penny and few bucks. That's all. But again, you are losing out the opportunity to capitalize on the market strength that you can have, basically.
Correct. And one more, sir, one more big point, one big point, of course, that you cannot say it's a financial point, but it is a very good factor for us. Now, what will happen now? See, because honestly, I'm into only commerce. So the seriousness of commerce college students is comparatively less. So what I personally think now, another big advantage for online, the students who are serious in studies, they will only prefer online. So what will happen? The biggest important factor, paisa chhod do ek side pe, we will get quality students. That is what matters for us. Those people like me, who want really give quality education, we would also like to have quality students also. So everybody, students of commerce as I mentioned in the starting also, it will take 5-7 years. So initially many students won't be comfortable also, even parents, अरे sir उसको उधर ही बुलाओ, ये घर पे कुछ करता नहीं, समझ में नहीं आता है. So if we are targeting online, the biggest plus point will be we will be able to capture quality crowd, and that quality crowd का IQ level हमेशा ज़्यादा होगा. So they will give us better results with minimum efforts from our side. That is one big plus point we'll be having.
I think that's a really fairly agreed, and it's really amazing to learn these insights, because now when you're talking like this, it clearly shows that the first point that you mentioned about mindset, if you have the right mindset, you will be successful for sure, but only with the right mindset. And yes, these technologies, this COVID, these are just part and parcel of the life. This is, if COVID would have not been there, something or the other would have been there to push you online. Let's say someone selling it for free now, right? So it can be, competition can come from anywhere. So COVID is also like an industry competition that people have to shift to online and reduce their costs or something like that, right? So last question of this section, sir. After this pandemic is over, how do you think the future is going to look like in terms of education? Is it going to be purely offline? I'm saying when purely offline, purely online, or hybrid. What do you think about these?
Sorry, Prashant, it will depend upon course to course. Now, say small school students के लिए online may not be that feasible. When it comes to professional courses like CA, CS, or say science students, it can be fully successful in online. For commerce, because I'm into commerce, I can stress more on that. I feel initially 5 to 7 years hybrid, because see, everybody will not be able to jump into online. So what we have to do, we have to give options to the student. By जिसको class में आना है class में आओ, जिसको online. So I personally feel that immediately a jump to online won't be successful. One, in our industry currently has to keep that mindset of hybrid. Slowly, when students are getting used to it, 5-7 years down the line, it can convert into full online. But again, sir, it will depend upon area of operation. Now, as I told you, I have a creamer crowd area, so that crowd can adjust to online. But then there are few slum areas, because you have to see everybody. When you're talking about the industry, we have to see each and every crowd. Exactly. So, low profile crowd, they may not prefer online. So it would depend upon area to area operation. But yes, if you're telling me pure offline, pure online, hybrid, no option. It has to be hybrid. To make this industry successful, one has to adopt hybrid, and then slowly, 5-7 years, 8 years down the line, or maybe a decade, has to be converted into pure online. But initially, yes, hybrid.
Amazing. I mean, that's really amazing to hear from you, sir. And just for everyone, whoever is going to listen this recording, or whoever is attending the session, this is a non-scripted interview session with Mr. Ashish, and even Mr. Ashish can vouch for it. These questions, he never knew that these questions are going to even come. This is so much unscripted and sort of documented type of interview, because we would love to hear the true things. It should not be structured, right? So, sir, coming on to the favorite part where I love the most is Ashish Tutorials association with Edmingle, right? How this fusion happened, and we would not very specific questions. You have been with us past 3 months, I would say, and how was your what was your in my mind while you were deciding key, okay, this is the one platform which I want to go with, right? How did you come to know about us? Did you receive any feedback from someone or something, anything which helped you take the right decision? That's what we want to learn more about.
Yeah, see last year, as I mentioned, I was full year on YouTube. Now YouTube mein, I used to give students the recording by creating my own section, but it was unlisted. Now unlisted mein what has happened? Those who get the link, they only can see. Now इनिशियल 1 साल तो मैंने निकाल लिया. देन आई थॉट अगर ये अनलिस्टेड रहा, वो प्राइवेट सेटिंग करने में बहुत मगजमारी है. सो इफ इट गोज अनलिस्टेड, अ स्टूडेंट कैन फॉरवर्ड दैट टू एनीबॉडी. देन व्हाट इज द यूज? जो बंदा मेरे को फीस दे रहा है, दूसरा फ्री में देख रहा है. सो आई हैव टू कम आउट ऑफ यूट्यूब नाउ. एंड एज आई मेंशन, आई वाज क्लियर दैट मुझे रिकॉर्डिंग ही करना है. सो देन आई स्टार्टेड सर्चिंग, थिंकिंग ऑन दिस, क्या करना है, क्या करना है. So once when I was very sure that now I have to think something, I put a message on my group that I would like to know some details about online. So if somebody can, I put it in a different way. So immediately one of my committee members of the association, he referred me to Mr. Samat Palkar. उन्होंने बोला कि he is a master in online. आपको कुछ doubt रहेगा तो you connect with him. So next day I connected with Mr. Samat Palkar, and fortunately he was associated, I think he's still associated with you. So he suggested me about Edmingle. Now to be honest, just किसी ने एक बार बोला तो मैं ऐसे ही contract sign नहीं करूँगा. So I first heard him out. I did my own research. I had another 1 or 2 e-learning, because since I'm a part of an association of class owners, everybody is connected with some or the other e-learning company. So but then I knew that these members are sensible, तो उनका ही feedback लेना है. So there were 2-3 people जिनका मैंने opinion लिया. Then apart from Edmingle, there were another 2 e-learning companies. एक जन ने तो मुझे यहाँ पे आके सब डेमो मेमो दिया. I took all the information, क्या costing है, everything. But then Mr. Samat Palkar ने मेरा काम आसान कर दिया. He told me, Ashish sir, I have done all the research. In fact, last full 2020 he has done full research in online, and he told me that keeping in mind all the factors of online, I have researched everything. I've taken quotes from various e-learning companies. I've gone into detail various factors X, Y, Z, and I have arrived to a conclusion that Edmingle is best. So I would suggest that you do your own research, but go for it. And the society where I stay, Samat Palkar sir ka son and one of my friend's son, they study in the same school. So I got a touch that he's a very genuine person. And then thoda bahut R&D kiya. I had 3 companies, एक को निकाल दिया. Then there were 2 companies, I forgot the second one का name, उनका and Edmingle. I had to make a choice between the 2. Now I'm being very honest, because you have asked me a Edmingle specific question. Had you're not introduced that Edmingle ka professional plan, maybe I would have not been in touch with Edmingle. I was thinking करूँ के नहीं करूँ, and then Prashant ji से मेरा वापस discussion हुआ, and he told me that we have come out with a new plan that will be the best for you. The other company ka, the drawback was everything was okay. The drawback was that storage ka, there was a point there I had to pay them per student per GB and X amount. Whereas here आपका जो professional plan था, उसमें there was unlimited storage, unlimited data, unlimited students, and साथ में app भी था. So the day Prashant ji told me कि ये professional plan हमने नया introduce किया है, and this is we are offering, next day only I took a call, and Prashant ji knows very well. मैंने उनको बोला था कि my financial year is April to March, so this expense I will have to record it in the next year. So we had an understanding कि sir आप payment कर दो, March के पहले मैं reverse कर दूंगा. So we did that, and that was the reason. So main thing was all thanks to your professional plan. मैं ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, अगर professional plan नहीं भी होता तो भी शायद में होता, but introduction of professional plan told me no second thought, get into this. And now hopefully I'm very much satisfied. And in fact, even my students with the app and the website also, my domain has been also linked. My students are also very satisfied. It's very user friendly. And till now, I've started teaching on this platform in 1 month only. So not a single complaint till now. So currently Edmingle is doing, not because I'm sitting in front of you all, but I'm giving an honest opinion that is working very well. And I just hope that this relationship of Ashish Tutor and Edmingle continues lifetime.
That's really, I'm so happy. That's the best part of being genuine.
I'm very genuine, sir. I'm very genuine. मैं आपका कोई negative points रहेगा मैं बोल दूंगा वो भी openly. Don't worry. I'm very blunt also.
About negatives and shortcomings, and because I take that as a feedback.
Same with me, sir.
I take that as a feedback. I take that as a feedback, right? That is very important, right? I really happy to hear about such a grateful feedback. I think there is no additional question that can be attached to this particular stuff. I think all questions done from my side, and anything that you would want to add. We are all done for this. Questions are done. So anything that you want to add at the end?
No, but nothing, sir. To sum up everything, that only that enjoying online, that's the future, and I'll continue working on it, doing proper research. Honestly, I'm telling you, I'm doing that only right now. As I told you that students को तो मैं last year का recording दे रहा हूँ. So the excess time I'm utilizing for researching. Bombay में कौन से area में क्या fee structure है, what is the mentality? I'm just working on that only. And in July, August, I am expected to come out with some details, of course, which I cannot disclose that now, to capture the Mumbai market. Maybe शायद bomb फोड़ूंगा. So उसके पहले थोड़ा बहुत R&D करना है, and then I will see what is to be done. And as I mentioned till now, maybe just 1 month only. Of course, I've entered a contract in March, but teaching is since 1 month. So the journey with Edmingle as of now is going very well. And as I mentioned also that hopefully we will continue throughout the life.
That's really nice to hear, sir. Before even I want to put a closing note. I know Samad sir, because you mentioned it explicitly. I know Samad sir from around now 15 months or so, and he is such a genuine person. I would say such a genuine and ground, down to earth. I would say, down to earth.
So more credit to him only. Because of him only, the main reason is he only.
He really, it's a very friendly, down to earth sort of person. When we met first in March 2020, it was around 19th March when I first met him. And it was just like, he said, Prashant, I have, done a research on 15 different LMS platforms in the past 2 years. And now I have decided that, yes, Edmingle is the one which I want to go ahead.
And all his efforts has paid to me, where my efforts have become zero. I didn't have to take any pain because he had done all the research and I blindly followed him. And as I mentioned, another reason, because you all are based in Bangalore, in Mumbai, Bangalore has that quality mindset. So Bangalore ka company hai, matlab faltu company nahi hai. It's fine. It has to be a professionally managed company. So that also was an added advantage of Edmingle because we can't trust Mumbai companies easily, to be honest.
So we will, go ahead and I think Sukhbir, we have already floated the feedback form, and anyone who would like to, give us a feedback or any questions, you can use the question and answer sessions section or raise hand. We will try to answer all the queries that you might have. So we'll just wait for 1 more minute, and then questions comes in, we will close the session. And really, thank you, Ashish sir.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
Wonderful.
I always enjoy passing on knowledge, because I used to get knowledge from my seniors. So I always believe in passing it. Of course, you all don't need knowledge, but such type of discussion, it creates a healthy type of discussion where we also get to learn from each other. From you, I get to learn technology. From me, you will come to know the feedback of a customer. So maybe it might help you in improving, many things. So it's always a teamwork.
That is really important. Teamwork is really important, and specifically during these uncertain times, transforming your business from purely offline to online and then into hybrid. you need really supportive team, basically, being it is in your technology provider, being it is in your marketing person, or anyone like that, right? So you definitely need supporting people out there, and we are really happy to be your technology partner.
Same
We
here, same here, same here.
The best part that we are 100% hybrid ready. So even in case, let's say tomorrow COVID goes away, tomorrow you can even start your offline classes, do the entire hybrid modeling in the Edmingle system itself. We are today 100% even ready.
That's great. That's great, sir. That's great.
So I think we do not have any questions from the attendees, and we will close this session. Really, thank you, Ashish sir, for all your time
My
today.
pleasure, sir. My pleasure. My pleasure.
We will be definitely connecting over the call. Thank you.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.